All right, joining me now is a lawyer and public affairs analyst, Ahmed Abbas. He's here in the studio to give us ideas and insight into all of this. Ahmed, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Right. Make us understand, beyond the issue of violence or any natural disaster that may lead to a truncation of the process, what is the wisdom behind the issue of declaring an election inconclusive based on votes that were rejected being more than the margin between the one who wins and the runner-up?
I think the wisdom is basically that if for any reason the registered voters in any given polling units where probably violence occur, if their number is more than the margin between the two closest rivals, you see, the assumption will be that probably if those registered voters actually voted for one particular candidate, the result might turn out change. So for the purpose of fairness and allowing the electorates to exercise their right, the wisdom was crafted to say, look, we must give them an opportunity so that we would be fair to one another. Because if, for example, there is a margin between the two contending aspirants, let me say about 500 votes difference, and you now have registered voters in a particular polling unit that were disenfranchised, let me say about 1,000, you would agree with me that, give or take, if those 1,000 decide to vote for one party, or even just 700 of them decide to vote for one party, it may
change the dynamics. All right, now, but,
yes.
but the issue there is, you talked about the issue of the need for fairness,
yes,
which certainly that is what the umpire should bring forth. Yes. But with this inconclusive elections declared right now, the runner-up to the election, the opposition, is already crying foul. So when it comes to fairness, how do we decipher that? Because they're saying that there's a connivance between the umpire and the ruling party.
Well, that's where, you know, the judiciary would have to come in. You know, in every contest, people are bound to give different interpretations depending on where the pendulum is swinging. And since we have a conflict resolution mechanism within the system, all we need to do is, if the opposition is crying foul, let them harness their evidence and approach the court of law and let the court make pronouncements.
And then hand over the decision to the court to make.
Yes.
That was originally supposed to be done by INEC.
Yes.
All right. Now,
yes,
what does this tell about our democratic process that we're learning and hoping to entrench?
First and foremost, I think we must up our game in terms of this do-or-die affair in politics, this violent
But if you compare
approach
with the past, are we making progress?
Well, I can say confidently that this last election was a little bit refined, in the sense that in the time past, the honest truth is that if you're a student of our electoral process, we don't have elections in this country. People simply sit in one corner of their room and just write the godfathers. All you need to do to be popular, to be elected, is kowtow to some godfather somewhere, and they know how to arrange rigging of election, and they write results. The honest truth is that results were written in the time past. I will give you a vivid example. In the Southwest in 2003, PDP swept the entire state of Osun State, Ekiti State, Ondo State, Oyo State, they swept it. But most of the elections was left with Tinubu in charge. Eventually, the entire this thing was upturned by the courts. Okay. So simply to tell you that, I mean, we were just clowns then.
All right. Yes. So we're getting it right gradually.
Yes.
Ahmed Abbas, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.